Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm your host, Alice Hanoff, and today we are talking about characters in my book and going a little bit more in depth in the history of them and their families and that sort of thing. And I'm very excited because today we are talking about General Wafner, also known as Jerome. Now, for those of you who don't know, Jerome Wafner is the general of the Kingdom of Dayton, and I'm very amused right now because I dyed my hair red for the launch of my cover for book 2, Broken Sons, and every time I look at myself in the mirror, all I can think of is the Wafners, because the entire Wafner family, think Weasley's from Harry Potter, the entire Wafner family is bright red hair, but not like natural red. We are talking fire red. This is like the crazy red that they have. That family sticks out like nobody's business. And so when you picture Jerome, this is the closest image that I could find for Jerome. He's a little bit hard to peg down. He is very tall, like over 6'2". He is very fit, massively muscular from like decades of working to train an army and being the general of an army, and that he has fiery red hair and he has dark brown eyes, and he is identical to his son and daughter. So here's Jessica and Stefan, so you can see just how red-haired and just how similar all of the Wafners look. The difference is Jessica has petite and delicate features, whereas her brother and her father are built like tree trunks. They are massive, massive men, which makes sense when you come from a line of generals and really strong, muscular guard type people. You would be more built for that type of stuff. Now, Jerome was born in Dayton, as you would expect him to be. His father was the general of Dayton. He's the oldest of 4 sons, and his brothers all died in the battlefield against the Betrugger, so he was the only one who survived to adulthood in order to carry on the line and carry on having a family. The Wafners have been the generals in Dayton for centuries. So pretty much anytime there's been a king in Dayton on a battlefield, there has been a general Wafner beside them. It just came down to different general, different king. But his father, so Jerome's father, was the general for King Jonathan, which is Emmerich's father. And he died when his father died on the battlefield fighting with King Jonathan. Then Jerome took over as being the second in command of that, and he was there for Emmerich when Emmerich became king at a young age, and so has been always there. His father was first with Emmerich, but then he took over helping with that. Now, his wife Gwendolyn, they met very young, they married very young, and had 7 children. Unfortunately, all of whom died in the fire when the sorcerers came after Alexandria when they were hiding her. So the only ones that survived to adulthood are Jessica and Stefan, because Jessica was out with her father when the attack happened, and Stefan was out in the field with Alexandria, keeping her hidden and just keeping her out of trouble, because his siblings were well behaved and spoiled brat princess was not. Surprise. Some of the things that Jerome has done, he personally trained Aaron as soon as Daniel died and Ginevra and Emmerich were dealing with the grief and loss of their firstborn son, and the kingdom was dealing with the loss of the heir. Jerome stepped in and made sure that Aaron had proper training and was able to help him, especially when he came forward wanting even more training when he was 16 and wanting to get his skills up there so that he could be of more help, which, if you really think about it, is incredible the way that Jerome stepped up to help Aaron. He had just lost his entire family as well, his wife, his 5 other children. Stefan, he thought was dead, so he actually thought he lost 6 children because no one could find Stefan or Alex. They were presumed to have died in the fire as well, and so he had 1 child left, and the queen essentially took over raising Jessica because he didn't know what to do with a girl, so he channeled all of his fatherly instinct and desire to help and educate and learn that into Aaron. So while Emmerich was busy crying about having lost his golden child, Jerome made sure that Aaron still got love, still got attention, and still got everything he needed to grow up properly. And while he got away with a lot from his parents because of that, and just rebelled a lot as a child, Jerome made sure that someone was always there to catch him. So when he got into trouble, and sometimes he got into a lot of trouble, sometimes he got into dangerous trouble when he would mess with King Arthur of Warren. Arthur was not a man you would mess with, and Aaron more than once crossed paths with him in a very bad way. Jerome was always there to make sure that someone was there to bail Aaron out if needed. Sometimes he let him stew a little bit, like when him and Majesti let out all the barnyard animals, causing mischief so that his dad would have to stay an extra day and couldn't go off to deal with issues because it was Jessica's birthday and he wanted Jerome to be there. Jerome was very much aware what Aaron got up to as soon as he found out what happened, but he didn't say anything to Emmerich, and he let Aaron go and hide for the day so that his dad would calm down before dragging Aaron before his father, because he knew that Emmerich needed to calm down before he had that conversation with Aaron. So yay for Jerome, always protecting Aaron, knowing that that boy's gonna be king one day and he needs to make sure that he survives his father's temper. But yeah, so Jerome is a very strong, he's one of those knights who's very strong, very outgoing, but also has a soft side that very, very few people get access to. Clearly his daughter does. Clearly he would show it to Ginevra and Emmerich as well. Aaron has seen it. Aaron knows more probably than even Stefan and Jessica do about his father, simply because, about Jerome, simply because he spent more time with him, just like Jessica spent more time with Aaron's mother. But also Alex finds her way into that soft spot very, very quickly, which is very nice, because after what happened, some people might think he would have blamed her for the loss of his family, but he did not even for a second. And so when she shows back up, he is right there making sure with Randall that she's protected and that she has people behind her when she needs it. And he becomes even more important to her in later books when she's dealing with things that happen in battles and things that happen that are outside of her control, and that she's not having a very good time handling. And he knows that pain of having done things you regret and that you had to in order to survive. And him and Randall and Matthew are there for her for that, in a way that no one else in Torian can really be there for her, because they're the only ones who really understand what she went through. But I won't give away anymore because that comes up in book 3, so. Anyway, if you have any questions about Jerome, please drop them in the comments and I will be happy to answer them. Otherwise, I hope you have a great Friday and happy reading. Bye.